This is a game. More accurately, it's one of the first Nintendo Entertainment System games called Super Mario Bros. Many people have played it. It's a classic. It's a very simplistic game due to the fact that the control pad the NES used wasn't really that complex. Why am I bringing this up? It's simple. There's an article that states that many gamers feel that the newer games are too easy, and that's why the Wii U isn't doing so well. However, a Nintendo executive bearing a name I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce revealed that they occasionally do a test to gauge how gamers think. As a gamer, what I'm about to rant on is incredibly depressing. Allegedly, they test gamers on the original NES, or in this case the Famicom, version of Mario. It's the exact same game as the original, with absolutely no changes. According to the Nintendo exec, 90% of the participants this year cannot complete the very first level. Wait, what? The very first stage? The one I just completed in front of you with no freaking troubles at all? Sure, I played the game a lot as a kid, but as I play it now, I don't think it's too terribly difficult. But that's not the worst thing. They also stated that 70% of the players died at the very first Goomba. You've got to be fucking kidding me. The very first Goomba. You mean to tell me that the very first enemy was a huge roadblock? Look at it! It's pretty predictable. It just walks straight at you. It doesn't jump. It doesn't fire anything at you. It's not even covered in spikes. It just slowly lumbers towards you. When you first start the game, the Goomba isn't even on the screen. Once it appears, if you don't move, you have about 5 seconds before it finally gets you. So, in those 5 seconds, you can't figure out how to frickin' jump? Later on in the article, it states that as a suggestion to make the game better, they wanted Mario to start with a weapon, such as a sword or gun. Let's assume that this is one of those games where you are helpless for the first few minutes and finally get a weapon later on. If that's the case, in those good 5 seconds, you should have been able to at least figure out how to jump over the Goomba. It's not hard. In addition to the directional pad, there's only really 4 buttons. Out of the 4, you have a 25% chance of figuring out that A is the jump. That's really hard, isn't it? One of the other stats is that many players died twice. 50% of them, in fact. This is actually a decent stat. I can understand some people will die, but the 90% not finishing the level just worries me. If they said 90% didn't complete the game, that's another story. Hell, I struggle finishing the original Mario game. But the first stage? Come on! With every game going achievement happy, you'd think players would explore a bit. Oh, there's a block with a question mark. What do I do? Do I jump on it? How would I activate it? Oh, wow, I hit it and a coin popped up. Oh, this one popped up a mushroom. Let's see what it does. Sweet, I got bigger. Maybe it's just me, but I enjoy exploring and experimenting in the game. When I do my reviews, I often play the game with no instruction manual, so I'm constantly testing buttons and objects in game just to see what they do. Call it a natural curiosity. Even if you don't run, get any coins or power-ups, or even don't kill anything, the first level is still easily completable. It's not that freaking hard. And I'm not even done breaking down this article yet. One of the lines says, many thought the coins were enemies and tried to avoid them. Really? You see those bright, shiny, circular objects? Those are coins. See on the HUD that coin with an X next to it and a number? That tells you how many coins you have. Let's look at the coins again. Do they really look threatening? Of course they don't, because they're fucking coins! They're not supposed to be evil! At least the Goombas look like they're going to kill you. The coins don't! Near the end of the article, the test subjects explained that they want Mario to kill enemies in ways other than jumping on them. When they explained that there were fire flowers, they want more ways, like a sword or gun, especially when you start off. Why the hell do you need a weapon when starting off? Many games start you off with nothing but your fists or a knife, so is it really necessary? Also, it's stated that many of the players didn't bother to read the manual. This is understandable for the simple reason that newer games may as well not even come with instructions. For the most part, games typically have tutorials or built-in walkthroughs to take your hand and show you how to play. But back in the old NES days, you needed that manual to teach you the advanced stuff. So, this point I can get, but again, With the NES control pad, you mean to tell me that players couldn't figure things out? I'm sorry, but if I'm in a test and someone gives me an instruction book, whether it be the SATs or a fucking game, I'm gonna freaking read it to make sure I don't fuck up. Finally, one of the last paragraphs just irks me. It says many of the people didn't realize that this was a real game and asked if it was supposed to be a throwback. Others said the graphics and music were terrible. Some wanted voice acting and a storyline. This just depresses me. Whatever happened to games being all about the actual gameplay? What is a game if the graphics are great, the storyline is engrossing, and the soundtracking is phenomenal, but the game itself is unplayable due to flaws and glitches? Sure, the graphics aren't the greatest of Mario, but keep in mind this was nearly 30 years ago. Of course they're going to be primitive compared to today. At least it's not Atari or Intellivision graphics. Hell, I'd love to see those tested dumbasses play Pitfall on Atari. They can't figure out an NES controller. Are they going to be able to figure out the Atari's one button and stick combination? If not, there's no hope for the future of gaming. As a whole, this article is depressing. As a gamer, I was ashamed to read it. Almost everyone that plays games knows who Mario is and what an icon he is to gaming. But they can't figure out one of his first games? I can see if the game the test subject's Mario Brothers, the arcade game where you have to hit the floor to flip the Koopas and then collect the coins that come out of the pipes. I can see how that gameplay could be a bit confusing. But Mario? Come on. Honestly, I'd love to know who took the test, because I would almost want to take those Xbox 360s and smash them over each one of their fucking heads! Maybe it's because I've been a gamer for over 20 years, and maybe it's because I don't know the exact details of the players that were tested, but I find this study to be really, really sad. Maybe I need to give the players credit because they're all 5-year-old monkeys that have never picked up an NES controller in their life, but somehow, I doubt that's the case. Anyway, I'm done ranting about this, so before I decide just to go hunting for idiots, I'm ending this. If you've never played Mario, go play it now so if you're picked for this test, you don't put us gamers to shame. Also, this is the internet. It's very well possible that this article is a fraud. In fact, I'm willing to bet that there's a 99.99999% chance that it is a fake article. I'm just taking this stance if it is truly real because, what the hell, why not? It's entertainment to watch me rage over something, right? If it's fake, well, at least you know my opinions if this ever turns out to be true. I will take your Xbox and beat you over your head with you repeatedly. This is Reaper. Go play Mario and happy fragging.